Honorable député d'Ottawa Centre. Sud, pardon, Ottawa Sud. Oh, oui, c'est bon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I'd like to follow up on some of the comments made by my colleague, excuse me, the House Leader for the Official Opposition. I think that his summary was only partly correct, partly accurate. But I think for most Canadians who've been watching for the last 40 or 45 odd hours, Madam Speaker, they have a right. They have a right to be a little bit in despair. I think they've been watching carefully to see how this has transpired, how has this process evolved. Canadians now know that the government had an opportunity to bring time allocation to bear in this bill when it was drafted. They knew that the government could have solved this problem as of last Thursday. Canadians know this. Canadians are telling us this. Canadians also know that the government had no intention whatsoever of accepting any amendments presented by any party, and presumably from their own members who, quietly in their own despair, were trying to improve the bill itself. We've heard, Madam Speaker, from the NDP Labour critic that this was he said this was an experience for his caucus, an opportunity for his caucus to have a learning opportunity. Well, some learning experience, Madam Speaker. How to filibuster a bill, 101. How to posture for the media, 101. How to rack up expenditures for the Canadian taxpayers, 101. Team build, Madam Speaker. If the NDP party wants to team build, they can leave the back door of this building and climb the Gatineau Mountains. Many times, Madam Speaker, throughout this debate, many times, I think Canadians could have been forgiven for thinking they were hearing speeches in a union hall and not the House of Commons. With respect to the government's behaviour, Madam Speaker, hardly better. Hardly better. A deliberate attempt to reform labour law by bringing the hammer down, by using a statutory instrument in an unprecedented fashion, and to bring through the back door what the Prime Minister knows he could never get through the front door of the Canadian citizenry. He may have fed, both leaders, in fact, Madam Speaker, may have fed the conflict machine called the media. In this, I think Canadians believe they've been successful. But the biggest loser here, Madam Speaker, the biggest loser has been the Canadian citizenry, and this is why. Unionized or not, unemployed or employed, healthy or sick, retired or working, the Canadian citizenry has been stuck with the bill. Small businesses, seniors, waiters, drivers, teachers, bricklayers, they're all being asked to pick up the costs for an unfortunate and unnecessary and irresponsible process. I'd like to end by asking both the leader of the Conservative Party and the leader of the NDP Party to go out in the cameras and tell the Canadian people exactly how much this experiment has cost them.
Yeah.